여러분, 추석 잘 보내고 계신가요? 저는 추석인데도 이렇게 촬영을 하고 있습니다. 추석이 지나면 아마 2023년이 올해 아마 얼마 남지 않은 그런 이제 10월이 또 시작될 것 같습니다. 여러분이 현재 세상에서 가장 빠르게 화두가 되면서 성장하고 있는 두 개가 있습니다. 그게 뭘까요? 아마 다 알고 계시면서도 아마 이 단어를 듣는다면 한 번쯤은 접해봤을 겁니다. 첫 번째는 AI입니다. 그리고 두 번째는 현재 여러분들이 투자하고 계신 비트코인입니다. 이 두 개가요, 현재 가장 빠르게 사람들의 인식 속에서 화두가 되고 있고요. 또 가장 빠르게 성장하고 있는 두 개라고 합니다. 일상 속에서는 이미 AI는 침투를 하기 시작했고, 먼 미래가 아닌 가까운 미래에 AI는 보고, 듣고, 말하면서 성장할 것임을 의심하는 사람은 없을 것입니다. 오늘 추석이지만 여러분들이 추석 영상뿐만 아니라 제 유튜브를 보시는 분들을 위해서 마인드셋을 또 할 겸 해서요, 인터뷰 하나 영상을 준비했습니다. 테슬라를 예측했고 이제는 또 다른 미래를 AI와 함께 비트코인에 대해 예측하는 그녀 캐시우드입니다. 그녀의 인터뷰 영상을 두 개를 준비했는데요. 캐시우드의 두 개의 인터뷰를 통해 2024년 AI와 비트코인에 대해 알아보도록 하겠습니다.
I think we are at a very similar point in both Bitcoin and AI. They're both moving into the steep part of the S-curve, creating opportunities for explosive growth.
캐시우드의 첫 번째 영상 내용은 2024년이 오면 비트코인에 대한 많은 상승적 요인들이 있다는 것입니다. 사람들은 잘 모릅니다. 블랙록의 현물 비트코인 ETF를 비롯한 많은 현물 ETF 승인 대기가 있다는 것과 연준의 금리 인하가 진행될 것으로 예상을 하며 다음에 미 대선이 있기 때문에 빚 상환을 고려할 것이며 비트코인 반감기 역시 예정되어 있다는 것입니다. 우리는 이 날짜들에 주목을 해야 합니다. 왜냐하면 비트코인 현물 ETF 승인 두 번째 결과가 결정되기까지 21일이라는 카운트다운에 벌써 진입했기 때문입니다. 2024년에 여러 승인 날짜들이 준비가 되어 있는데, 여기서 질문은 블랙록과 그레이스케일 또는 피델리티 중에서 누가 통과할 것인가, 아니면 몇몇만 통과할 것인가, 아니면 전혀 통과하지 못할 것인가가 남을 것입니다. 2024년은 크립토에 정말 흥미로운 한 해가 될 것이라고 저는 생각을 합니다. 처음으로 금 ETF가 출시된 이후로 금 가격은 ETF 전에 가격을 주지 않았다라고 말씀을 드렸는데요. 금은 지금의 영상처럼 이런 식으로 변했습니다. 비트코인은 여러 면에서 금의 상위 호환 버전이라고 말들을 합니다. 따라서 AI의 무한함이 비트코인의 희소성과 만나게 되면 이 조합은 비트코인의 급등을 의미한다고 캐시우드는 이 인터뷰에서 말을 합니다.
I think we are at a very similar point in both Bitcoin and AI. They're both moving into the steep part of the S-curve. I don't think most of the asset management world understands how powerful the convergences are going to be between and among the technologies that are evolving today. And the way I like to describe why they're going to be so powerful, the convergences, is we're looking at S-curves, so new technologies, they start out slowly and then they gain momentum and you end up into the steep part of this S-curve. Well, I think we are at a very similar point in both Bitcoin and AI. They're both moving into the steep part of the S-curve. So you have S-curves feeding S-curves, creating opportunities for explosive growth potentials. Aha moments when we're talking about convergences. I actually had an aha moments around our first Bitcoin brainstorm as well. I guess what has hit me here, it's something Paul said at the end here, we're going to see, I think you said clash or the collision between, the infinity associated with AI and the scarcity associated with Bitcoin. And so what does that mean? And here's where I come back to my economic roots, which is, wow, you could have a parabolic move in the price of Bitcoin. And I think that will happen. I mean, we're on record saying that. But it also brings me back to, okay, global monetary system, means of exchange, unit of account. And so I know we're going to have one of these brainstorms with Art Laffer, and he's going to be poking at all of this and talking about the quantity rule versus the price rule, and and really wanting to understand the cryptography and everything. So I'm really happy we're doing these brainstorms.
두 번째 영상에서는 현물 ETF가 승인이 되고 명확한 규제선이 생기면 엄청난 자본을 끌어들일 수 있다는 내용으로 크립토 시장의 폭발적인 상승에 대한 확장성과 편리성에 대해 설명하는 내용입니다. 다소 심오할 수는 있으나 이 내용을 이해한다고 하면 좀 더 크립토 시장에 대한 확신이 생길 수 있는 영상이기 때문에 준비해봤습니다.
The US DNA is all about innovation. And when you think about crypto, and we should call it the internet financial system, let's call it that instead of DeFi or decentralized finance. DeFi sounds defiant. But if we use better semantics like internet financial system, what that is telling us is the internet was built out without that financial system. Nobody knew commerce or financial services were going to take place on the internet. In fact, no one would put their credit card on the internet, if you'll remember. And so this is the layer of the internet that the engineers skipped in the early days, and now we're just introducing it.
캐시우드는 암호화폐가 주목받지 않은 두 가지 중요한 요인을 가지고 있다고 생각을 합니다. 최근 바론과의 인터뷰에서 그녀는 이 두 가지 중요한 요소에 대해 설명을 했습니다. 첫째는 규제의 역량을 강조를 했고, 두 번째는 캐시는 블록체인 기술 고유의 효율성으로 인해 암호화폐 도입이 불가피하다는 점을 강조했습니다. 첫 번째 규제의 역량에 관해서는 SEC가 수많은 법적 문제에 직면하고 있고 비트코인 현물 ETF에 대한 기대감이 커지는 가운데 건설적인 암호화폐 규제를 위한 환경이 명확해졌다는 것입니다. 이 임박한 규제 명확성은 수조 달러에 달하는 기관 자본의 접근을 풀 것으로 기대를 합니다. 두 번째는 현재 전통적인 거래에는 평균 7개의 중개 단계가 포함이 되는데 각 단계는 거래의 일정 비율을 차지합니다. 반면 비트코인과 같은 암호화폐는 이러한 중개자를 제거해서 거래가 훨씬 더 효율적이고 비용이 합리적인 점을 강조하고 있습니다. 게다가 캐시우드는 다가오는 선거 시즌에 암호화폐에 대한 양당의 지지가 있다고 언급을 했습니다. 이렇게 캐시우드의 시장 전망에 대해 더 깊게 파악하기 위해 남은 영상을 끝까지 시청해 주시기 바랍니다.
This is a new asset class, and this is what we need to happen. It's what happened, believe it or not, with derivatives, and there were court cases around derivatives that went to the Supreme Court, and we do believe Coinbase's suit with the SEC, or the SEC's suit against Coinbase, will go on appeal to the Supreme Court ultimately. So I think the judicial system, legislative system will balance this executive branch ruling by enforcement, which is not healthy for us. We're losing a lot of innovators to other countries, and that's unfortunate because the US DNA is all about innovation. And when you think about crypto, and we should call it the internet financial system. Let's call it that instead of DeFi or decentralized finance. DeFi sounds defiant. But if we use better semantics like internet financial system, what that is telling us is the internet was built out without that financial system. Nobody knew commerce or financial services were going to take place on the internet. In fact, no one would put their credit card on the internet, if you'll remember. Now, of course, that is not true. And so this is the layer of the internet that the engineers skipped in the early days, and now we're just introducing it. And it's going to collapse the cost of financial transactions. If you look at financial transactions today, to go from merchant to consumer, there are 7 intermediate steps. All of those are toll takers. And this could collapse to peer-to-peer or just one intermediary, like a digital wallet, like Cash App, for example. But it's going to take a lot of costs out of the system, which is what technology does. We're very excited about the future. We do think there's a pendulum shift brewing back from passive or benchmark sensitive, and to us, there's not much difference between those two, to truly active management. And I think we began to see it in the first half before interest rates lifted here again. And we do think interest rates are going to come down because we think deflation is the bigger risk, not inflation out there. But we were happy to see the broadening out of the market when it came to innovation. Love that. We have big plans. We said it when we started ARC, we want to own innovation. That sounded very bold. And in the public markets, if you think about it, when people think about disruptive innovation, they do think about ARC. Now we're moving into the private markets with a venture fund, which we started late last year. We're democratizing venture capital. That's what our clients have been asking us to do. And so you'll find ARC Venture on the Titan app. So we not only have a social media and a social marketing strategy, but now a social distribution strategy. You can buy ARC Venture on the Titan app, and we're getting access to deals, to company opportunities that many institutions and foundations are not getting. And that's because of our go-to-market strategy and the desire of many venture capitalists to participate in this democratization movement because it helps their companies. It gives them more visibility and it helps them attract more talent. So really excited about that. And then in the crypto world, we have a number of strategies brewing and very excited about how they will scale, especially as regulation evolves and gives institutions more certainty that this new asset class, which is very little correlation to other asset classes, has a place in their portfolios. So venture, crypto, but we think the low-hanging fruit is in the public markets as we move back from passive towards active as disruptive innovation disrupts the traditional world order. And the closing comment here, Andy, is we believe that truly disruptive innovation is valued in the public and private equity markets at roughly $15 trillion today. We think that's going to scale to $200 trillion by 2030. So that's almost a 40% compound annual rate of return for the innovations themselves. And it is our jobs to pick our spots and give our clients exposure to some of the most amazing opportunities in innovation history. Okay, so in terms of regulation, what has been happening is the SEC has been really ruling by enforcement actions. And that's not a very healthy way of doing this. So what is happening now is the judicial system and the legislative system are coming into play. That's what's great about the American system. You have the three branches of government, and of course, Gerisler was appointed by the president, had to be approved by the Senate, but still, I think of it as an executive appointment. And now we've got the court saying, okay, the SEC is overstepping its bounds, and we've got the legislative branch, this will become an election year issue, crypto, coming through with bipartisan support. Interestingly, not perfect, but we have Democrats and Republicans together on these bills, coming through bills around stable coins and market structure and so forth. This is a new asset class, and this is what we need to happen.
2024년 상승의 많은 요인을 보는 시각과 규제 문제에 대한 캐시우드의 관점을 여러분들은 어떻게 보셨나요? 다가오는 선거 시즌과 기존 금융 시스템과 대조되는 블록체인 기술의 본질적 효율성, 이러한 점을 고려해 보면 우리는 앞으로 암호화폐 시장을 제대로 봐야 한다는 본질을 놓쳐서는 안 되는 좋은 인터뷰 영상이었습니다. 남은 추석 연휴 즐겁게 보내시고요. 연휴 끝나고 뵙겠습니다. 더 많은 정보는 구독, 좋아요, 알람 설정, 그리고 텔레그램 입장까지 쭉 빵빵 감사합니다.